I left my phone up there, so I can't even tell anyone right now.
Hello. Wow.
Hi.
It's so grainy.
Yeah, it is really grainy.
Let me try to like mess with the lights. If I make it too bright, it'll be wacky looking. Maybe if we do. This one's pretty low. Ooh, hello.
Hello, green.
What looks best? Hi.
I like that one.
Looks better.
Oh, look at the little Bamba back there.
Bamba. Can you see him? Hi. Okay.
Hello.
I should have brought my glasses. I'm gonna have to get super close. Hey, Alchemy of Life. Hello. So
Hello.
we don't even have plans for this.
No.
Yeah. So this is Autumn Mystic. I feel like
Hello.
a bunch of you probably know her already because she has an ASMR channel, and that's definitely how we met, right?
Yep.
I can't remember when I found your channel, but I watch it all the time. I watch that South Florida travel agent one all the time. I'll be like putting on my makeup. I'm like, yes, like tell me about Gumbo Limbo. Like,
yeah. One of my subscribers actually was like, hey, you and Lune Innate would probably get along well because you guys have, well, I used to do a lot of like Reiki and like New Age kind of videos and stuff. So like they were like, oh, you'd get along with her. And then when she ended up moving down here, I was like, oh my gosh, I live like right down the street from you. I live like super close.
Yeah, it worked. It was like built in. I feel very lucky. It was like, I was like built-in friend. Oh my God. It's weird moving somewhere and not knowing anyone.
Oh, I know.
You've done that before, right?
I've done that twice. Well, 3 times kind of. I mean, like I knew people 2 of the times because I was like, I moved in with, oh geez, my tattoo.
Oh yeah.
I just got like a bunch of goo all over my hand. Sorry.
Paper towel?
Yeah.
I have some.
Sorry.
No, I'm prepared, girl.
I touched my tattoo and it's all gooey right now, so sorry. But anyways, yeah, I knew people when I was moving to Tennessee the 2 times that I moved there, but other than the people I was moving in with, I didn't really know anyone. And then I moved up to Jacksonville and I had some family there. But other than that, yeah, very few people that I knew. So I totally get it.
How did you deal?
You're
like, well, I'm a hermit.
Like, yeah, I'm kind of a hermit to begin with. So like I like small amounts of close connections. I'm not one of the type of people who has like a huge group of friends and like goes out and socializes all the time. It's like I have like a few people that I like to have.
You form like dense attachments, I would say.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel about myself too.
Yeah.
It's more like dense cords, like dense attachments, and yeah,
very like few but close connections.
But those ones too, like they're meaty, right? Like that's how we could say.
Yeah,
they're not like superficial for sure. They're like deep. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel awkward just because I didn't really have anything planned. I hope it's okay I share it. Tiffany's a very like mystic person. Very I wouldn't call you, I don't think spiritual is the correct word, but I'd love for you to correct me.
Yeah, I mean, like I became a Christian a little over a year ago, but I still definitely.
Was that a year ago?
Yeah, it's been a little over a year ago now, but like I still definitely have like a mystical view of the world.
Crystals and what else? There's other things for sure. I'm sorry.
Oh, little Bamba.
You can't do it.
Little Bamba puppy.
You're not going out there because then I have to drag you in.
Oh, I just saw the comment from Jason. The tattoo is a bee on a thistle. Thistles are my favorite flower, and I love bees. If you've followed my YouTube channel, you've probably heard me gush on and on about how much I love bees.
They're the best.
Yeah.
Have you ever rescued a bee? Like
saved all
one?
The time. Whenever I see them on the sidewalk, I always pick them up. And like, I'm not afraid of them. A lot of people are afraid of bees, but they're not gonna hurt you unless they think that like you're trying to kill them or like get at their colony or whatever. So like whenever I see them struggling or anything, I always like pick them up and save them.
Yeah. I found like a few like in our backyard in Staten Island that I would save, and it was so satisfying because there's a few that I like thought were gone, and then like I'd come back and I'd be like, like buzzing in the little box that I put it in. I was like, oh, it wants to live. It wants to live. And I'd like let it out and be like barely any wings left, but it's still like fly away. I'm just like,
Aww.
satisfying. Go die in nature. Not in this box inside of my house. Yeah, I think that's really an interesting conversation between us that we could just to represent, I guess, because on my channel I get a lot of like that. I'm going to use the word judgmental, and I don't think that that's the best word to use here, but I'm just struggling a little Mercury retrograde kind of thing. But a lot of like judgmental comments or like pushing your belief on someone. Yeah. Essentially, right?
I mean, like I'm very much for like sharing my aspect of like how I see things, especially if people ask me about it or whatever, or like sharing about it, or like sharing about it, or like sharing about it on my channel. But like, I don't ever want people to feel like I'm trying to push my views on someone else. Same. And I try not to like make people feel like that. I mean, I did spend over a decade in like the paganism, witchcraft, new age community. So like there would be people that would be like, oh, you know, like Jesus, whatever. And I'd be like, just kind of roll my eyes about it and be like, sometimes it'd kind of like irk me. But looking back at it now from being a Christian, as a Christian perspective, like they were just trying to like share the love that they saw, and I didn't see that at the time. They like they weren't doing it like
there's a difference. You can tell like there's a difference between like telling you you're wrong and it's like very like dogmatic, I guess. Like you don't come off dogmatic or anything.
I'm not a dogmatic type person.
No, like girl, I'm a Libra.
Yeah, I'm a Libra.
Yeah, and like astrology and other like so I'm not calling you a cult necessarily, but there are things that I've seen on your channel, like astronomy, that like my terminology would be like occult sciences. Like clearly I don't mean like devil worshiping or something like that. But like they're of the nature of like, I don't know, like esoteric sciences or I don't know, like that type of thing, right? That years and years and years and years ago would have been probably classified as like, you know, like something evil or
well, I mean, like there's been a lot of things that I've gone away from since converting. You know, like I don't read tarot anymore. Like I have very few oracle cards left that I'll read, but I don't read them in like the same way. I'm just kind of like, all right, well, I know that like there's good advice in these cards, so like what kind of good advice for like right now could I have, you know, just to like have a message or something like that. But I do it in a different way. But there has been a lot of things that like I've stepped away from. Yeah.
And I think that's a really important thing to honor on your path in general. Like if something resonates with you and you feel supported by it, then I think it's good for you. No matter what it like, you know, like as long as it's not hurting anyone else, obviously. Right. But it's important. And I think it's nice to see that people can have like, you know, like shifts of perspective, but still like have friendships and like get each other. And it's not this like, you know, like kind of thing. Like you're like, judgment. Here, you take my tarot cards. I'm like, like you take these. That's awesome. I guess like Tiffany had asked her subscribers if there was any like questions or things or basically things that we could chat about, because like clearly like I'm not gonna be pulling any cards. Like that's usually one of the things that I do. I'll just try to read. I'm so sorry to leave you, but I'm gonna grab my glasses because I can't see.
All right,
and I'll get your phone for you.
Okay,
and I'll run fast because I'm like
the speed of light. Let's see. Looking through the questions. No, it's not wine. I'm drinking a framboise, which is like a fruit beer. Yes, for Libras. We are both in our 30s to answer that question of how old we are. Do I still do I am affirmations? I do my own affirmations. I don't really use other people's affirmations anymore. I just kind of come up with my own usually now, which is actually what I started doing towards the end of my journey anyway. Oh, phone. Yeah, thanks.
I'm out of breath. It's a lot of stairs.
All right, someone asked what brought you two together today.
I think I just suggested, I was like, do you want to do a live stream with me? We were planning on doing this Wednesday, but I got sick. So Tiffany was really understanding and flexible. So we got to do it today. But we didn't really have anything like specific, like a reason, just like a reason to hang out, I guess.
Yeah.
Another reason. Yes, occult just means hidden. Have you got any advice on or encouraging words for someone having just got out of an abusive relationship?
Oof, that's hard.
That is very hard. Stay strong. I think like when we get out of abusive relationships, we're left very like bewildered, if I can say, like spun around.
There's a lot of trauma that comes with it because I've been in abusive relationships before, and like it's definitely like a traumatic thing.
It is, and I think you really need to honor that, like treat it that way and validate it. You know,
yeah,
like
you
not that you're broken.
Validate it.
You're not broken. I don't mean that, but that you've been through something and that it is traumatic.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like they want to just kind of be like, oh, I'm strong, I'm going to get through this, I'm going to brush it under the rug. But you don't, you want to be able to like process it fully to be able to, you know, like make it out on the other side. Because if you don't process it, then that's usually ends up being harder in the long run.
Absolutely. And definitely like a lot of self-focusing. So making sure you're creating yourself. You have an identity always, of course, but sometimes when we're in abusive relationships, our identity gets a bit like meshed with that or mixed with it, or it's just like scarred by it,
or like their ideas they can put on you become your own, and like you want to be like, all right, well, what do I really think of me, you know, like who am I really without having this person tell me who I am.
Right. And to it's hard because it's very common as well to like go back to abusive relationships or like fall into other forms of abuse. Like for me, I had like a really scary abusive relationship. Not so much physically, but like very like manipulative and vindictive, like showing up to my work and screaming like obscenities and like the weirdest shit. Like when all these people are like exiting work at the same time and like this guy's just like screaming at me and like, you know, just like humiliating. Yeah, totally. And like all the time. Or there was the same person, we went on a trip together and we went to see Sonic Youth actually, like in concert in Buffalo. And it was this big, I don't remember the name of the venue, but it was this big venue. And Sonic Youth was like about to play, and like I had to go to the bathroom and I needed to get another drink. And I was like, I'm gonna go back. Like this is not like the front of the line is not where I hang out. So I basically like left, went to get a drink, went to the bathroom, and then was just like walking around this like massive club. Like it was a big venue. And then I just found some like dudes, some gay dudes outside to hang out with. One of them's name was Ishmael, I remember. And I just sat there like smoking.
Ishmael.
Yeah. Like I'll remember that forever. And I just sat there smoking cigarettes, like super safe, like outside, like listening to Sonic Youth, being like, oh, we're like going on this trip. And like this dude, like when he found me, like poured a beer over my head, was like screaming at me, and like left me in Buffalo. Because he thought I was like in a closet, like doing so. Like I'm like, what would you like? Where do you get this shit from? So like, definitely traumatized. I'm sorry, I've had a couple drinks, okay? So like, I'm so sorry that like the word vomit is popping out right now. But yeah, it was just like that kind of relationship, like all the time, like fighting so bad and so like I don't even know the words, but it was traumatizing. And I had nightmares about this person for years and years and years and years. And like, I think again, like what I'm trying to spit out here and share and empathize with is that it can take so long.
Yeah, it can take a really long time. I'm still trying to,
right?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get over stuff that I went through a long time ago.
Do you dream about it a lot? Do you find like it comes up in your dreams or anything?
Unfortunately for my boyfriend, I have dreams of things that people in past relationships have done to me come up in dreams of like him doing them to me. Yeah. And like I know that that's like I wake up and I'm like, I know that's like not even him. Like that's nothing he would ever do or anything.
Yeah,
but,
no, he's sweet. I don't know if he's watching, but he's sweet. Yeah, and I guess that's it, right? It just takes a lot of time and stay and to like really keep developing yourself and know that responsibility and stuff.
Yeah, you get stronger in yourself over time.
For sure. Like I would never entertain that shit. Oh my God, right?
Yeah.
I know we do look like sisters, right? Like glasses and this question is, you guys believe in the Gospel of Thomas? I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not either, to be completely honest.
All right. Aw, that's nice supportive comments for each other. How old are y'all? I'm 37 and a half.
I'm 32 and a half.
Yeah. Little old ladies. No, I'm just kidding. I used to have thought that.
Yeah, it's weird, like, now that I'm in my 30s, because my mom had me when she was my age that I am now.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like mom age. I'm like parent age, you know?
Yeah. You're a lady.
Yeah,
you're
a woman.
Lady.
I'm not a girl anymore.
Remember my brother said that one time. He's like, they were ladies. You know, like that's like how I think of you and your friends. You're like ladies. And I was like, oh, we're like ladies.
Yeah, or like when people call me ma'am.
Hey, Bonnie. Yeah, ma'am. Well, here it's a thing though.
Yeah.
Like you hear ma'am all the time.
Yeah.
One of the amazing people, oh my gosh, Erin, that I was chatting to when I moved here, she's just like really nice support person. She's like, let me give you the Florida breakdown. She's like, in the South, saying sir and ma'am is like very like on point for like the older gens. So like whenever like I hold the door for a guy or like an older guy, I'm like, thank you, sir. Like, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. You know, like I try to throw out sir as much as I can or ma'am.
You're like, I don't want them to know I'm from New York.
Yeah, I know. I don't. I try to hide that I'm from New York. People really don't they don't like people from New York. And I get it. I get it. Are we lovers?
I love you.
I love you too. No, we're not that cool. No, I'm just kidding. Is smoky quartz good for protection? I would say yeah. Smoky quartz is a great choice for protection.
Yeah, I also really like black tourmaline for like removing negative energy and protection and stuff.
Yeah, and I will add on to that. I love black kyanite actually as my favorite protection stone because tourmaline, you're so right. It releases a lot. It like absorbs a lot.
Yeah.
But it does like hold it. I've actually had like distance Reiki sessions with people that had like gone through some stuff and I felt that there was black tourmaline in their house. I was like, do you have a black tourmaline somewhere?
Well, you have to cleanse it.
Yeah, you got to cleanse it. So it's just one of those things. So that's why I kind of prefer kyanite because like I might forget to cleanse something.
Yeah, the kyanite's usually self-cleansing.
Yeah, they're like really nice that way. But tourmaline's definitely a good one. Like a heavy duty one, I would say, right? Like the Dyson, like sucking it all up. Sucking it up. Bees love hemp. Hey, Farah, giving you a shout out. Okay. I know it's leap day, right? It's bizarre. Yeah. Let Bomba bark out there. It's bizarre. So I think Tiffany has like two little questions from her people.
Oh yeah.
I forgot.
Right. So we actually already answered.
Yeah,
how,
I remember
like,
the one.
we met.
I remember the one.
How do you best handle stress?
What do you do? You're like, what kind of stress?
I'm in some pretty heavy therapy. So therapy is definitely like, it's not just, I guess like for me, it's not just plain everyday stress. It's like a lot of stuff from past stuff. And like I deal with a lot of mental health disorders, like 4 of them. So for me, it's a little bit different than most people, but like everyday stress, I guess would be more like being cognizant of how like I'm breathing, because your breath can affect a lot of like how your stress moves through you. And then like if I notice tension, oh geez, I just touched my tattoo again. If I notice like tension in my body, then I try to kind of like relax the muscles. And then instead of trying to like get rid of emotion and stress and mood and just be like, I'm just going to ignore it, I'm just going to put it away, like I try to like kind of feel it and let it go through me and like allow
like
it to like, yeah, like a wave just like wash over you and like go through you. Because something I've learned in therapy is if you don't re-engage a certain emotion, like if nothing happens for you to re-engage it, like you stop like interacting with it, or like something stops happening, then it really is, I think it's, I forgot what the amount of time is, but it's not a very long amount of time before that emotion will pass unless it's re-engaged. So if you can like let the emotion go through you and like let it disengage, then it helps it pass.
Yeah, for sure. But what about the stress that's like daily? Like, you know, I feel like there's definitely times of your life, probably in my life too, and everyone's life, where it feels like the stress is like there when we wake up, right?
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
that
like
kind of thing.
those days are more difficult, I guess,
Yeah.
especially if there's like something major going on. What about you? How do you deal with stress?
I have a few little practices, you know. Hopefully it's a day that like I don't have howl, because if I'm stressed with howl, I'll probably just really do my best to tune into like taking on the mother role for that time. And I don't mean to like suppress, but just be like, okay, I feel this.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah, like I feel this. I'm gonna acknowledge it, but like now is not the time. And it's almost, I know it's messed up, and I don't think that every single person can do that, but like I can kind of like put it on pause for a second and say like, I'm gonna address you, but I can't right now, right?
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. But in general, journaling is very helpful for me. It's very like cathartic. Validation of
Yeah,
what
validation is definitely really
huge,
big thing.
right? Like
Yeah.
it sounds so simple, but it's just like what you said, like let it hit you, right? Like
Yeah.
feel it, let it hit you.
Yeah.
So see it, you know, see it for what it is. And then let it start to teach you, like, I'm sorry for Bamba, but like, what is it teaching you? Like, do you need to make a change? Like, is it your job? Is your job causing you so much stress that like you're not really living like your life to like the best quality that you can? Because if that's true, maybe you're going to have to make some changes, you know, and figure out like a different situation. Or is it the relationship? Like, what is it that's causing us stress? And like kind of dissect it and go in. But in the first term, you know, like to keep it real, I smoke weed. Like I will, like it helps me so much. Like I'm not trying to promote it, but like for me, like I don't get in, like some people get I get like anxiety.
I get like the worst panic attack for like 4 hours if I try to smoke weed.
I know a lot of people like that. Like my other friend, like he's like, I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack or something.
Yeah, I
like
feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. I feel like I can't breathe. Like it freaks me out.
For me, I'm just like, I kind of switch to like a different frequency or like a different dimension where I'm like, oh, I know what this is. And it kind of, it's almost like the green room or like the waiting room or something for me. But obviously if I'm like in mommy mode, like I'm not gonna go like rip my bong or something.
Yeah.
You know, but if I'm like alone and I'm feeling stressed and I have the luxury of like using, I know it's a substance, like I get it, but like it does help me to like kind of shift perspective. So if there's anything,
but it's not like you're doing it like all day every day.
Yeah,
you know? Like
no.
It's like you're still like going through your stuff and like processing everything and like getting other better coping mechanisms.
Right. It's not just like numb, totally. And even when it has gotten really bad for me, like through like the divorce and stuff, like there were times where I was just so emotionally raw and I'd be like, I'm gonna smoke because, and I know that I'm like self-soothing right now. Like I know this is not helping, but I like literally need a break from feeling right now because I just feel like too much and it's confusing. So I don't think that that's great advice. Like I understand that, but I just want to be very authentic that that's one of my methods for like supporting my stress is just to like do anything. Like that could be cleaning your house though. That could be taking a drive. That could be like anything that helps you switch gears. And I think it's important to like find those things that help you switch gears, you know?
Yeah, like any passions or projects or anything you can get yourself involved with, hobbies.
It's hard though too, right? Because it's almost like when my mom was sick when she was a little girl, my grandmother would always give her ginger ale. And she started to equate ginger ale to being sick. So she hated ginger ale. So it's almost like sometimes we could also like drag the things that we're passionate about into like stressful context almost, right?
Yeah.
You know, so it's all tricky. But whatever relax, dude, ASMR. Like, what are we talking about here?
I know, right?
ASMR should have been like the first freaking thing that we thought of.
Well, that's more of like a nighttime thing. I'm not gonna like necessarily
I'll
be
do
able
it during
to,
the day.
I'm not necessarily gonna always be in a place where like I can just like turn on an ASMR video like in the middle of wherever, you know.
Yeah. But you're like in traffic. You're like, let me just watch something.
But like if I just want to like wind down at night and just like decompress, I mean, first of all, honestly, like I do like to have like a drink also as like a way of just kind of winding down. But then like just watching ASMR videos has been, I mean, that's why I started my channel over 7 years ago, was because other people helped me so much with their ASMR videos and I wanted to contribute something to the community.
Yeah, that's the same as me. It's exactly why. And I think I started my channel 7 years ago. I just didn't actually do it for 7 years. But I have some old videos like that are hidden that I hid. And I'm like, my hair is like so short. Like it's like short. I'm like, damn, that's so long ago. But yeah, it was to give back to the community because I found it so supportive during like really rough times. Yeah. But ASMR is a good one. It helps me switch gears. Like, so when I'm stressed, I'm putting my makeup on. I fucking put Tiffany on. Like I'm hanging out with you. I'm like, can you tell me again about what's good in South Florida? Wait. What was that? What was that water park? I want to go there. Like, so funny.
Ooh, the water park's gonna be opening in summer, but you have to go like
early.
You have to go early when it first opens, and like if you can during the week instead of the weekend.
I can.
Yeah, we could totally do that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be totally fun. Because in the summer, I remember it being very rainy here, right? Is that like the rainy time?
Yeah.
Good to know.
Like you have to make sure that it's not going to be thunderstorming that day if you go to the water park too, because then like
you don't want to get hit by lightning.
Well, they'll close the whole thing down if there's even like lightning in the area or thunder or whatever. Let's see. What was my other questions? Someone asked, how did you meet? Was it online or in person? We already answered that. What do you look forward to with a collaboration like this? We just wanted to hang out.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of
like hang out, do a live stream.
Hiding someone. Thanks, Bonnie. Bonnie's sticking up for us.
Oh, thank you. Oh, someone had asked what the actual process that we took to receive our first level Reiki attunement was.
Oh,
what was required? How are
There's
you
nothing
doing
required.
with the powerful new moon and Mercury retrograde energies? Yeah, I was friends with a lady at this new age store in Boca, and she had told me about it, and I had been interested in Reiki, so I just took the class.
Yeah,
and
there's no prerequisite or anything.
Yeah, the first level one was actually free, which was cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like we did like donations or whatever, but it was pretty much like free,
that's great.
So
that's great.
Yeah,
same. I felt like really called to it, and I kept like kind of putting it off, you know, like I do a little research, or I try to find a teacher, and certain people like kind of wouldn't get back to me or stuff, and again it would like fall off. But basically I went to get like my numerology done for my birthday, and the lady was like, you do Reiki, right? And I was like, no, but I wanted to. And she's like, yeah, you should. Like, and I went home and like again like Google searched like a teacher in actually where my dad was living, because I would go home sometimes, so it was like, oh, I'll just try to find someone there maybe instead of in New York. And I found my teacher right away, and I went to her Reiki 1, and I just went like boom 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 through the classes as fast as I could. So it was about like a month apart, 2 months apart each time, something like that. And yeah, but for Reiki 1 there's like no prerequisite. Like you just need to complete Reiki 1 so you can go on to Reiki 2 if you feel called to. They teach you everything, and Reiki 1, to be fair, is like quite simple. Like, and it's like that's almost the challenge with Reiki 1, is to keep it simple, because it's really easy to try to like like throw your own will into it, as in like, I want to help with this, when really it's about serving as a conduit for like whatever someone needs. So if I thought, I love Mike, like, but if I was like, oh, I don't like her boyfriend or something like that, and I was like imposing, like, I want her to fall in love with a good guy, like, you'd be like, get away from me, like, what are you talking, like that kind of thing. Not like that would ever happen, but like this is an example, right, of like how people can almost like put their will or their opinion into it. And the challenge for some people is then to like remember that everyone's path is their own, and everything happens for each person for a reason. And it's just like prayer. Like, you're just trying to get energy to like flow to support, like in the direction of something that you care about, or that you have some kind of like, like support in, or you would like to support in some way. But it's pretty simple that way. People are funny. My husband did I forget what we were talking about. She said, Jillian, my husband did the work thing too. Ugh. I don't know what that means, because I forgot what I was talking about. I'm so sorry. Many experiences. Yes, ASMR. So I saw a question that was like, is the tingles from ASMR electronically induced? No.
It's done through visual or audio stimulation. So like you seeing or hearing something can trigger the tingles.
Do you have any like IRL tingle reactions?
Oh my gosh, yes. Like especially certain cashiers. Or like the ones with the long nails.
Yes.
Like,
or the ones that just take care. Like at UPS when I have to mail a lot of stuff, there's this one lady in Staten Island that would like, she'd like circle each thing. She's like, okay, here's your tracking number here. And here. And you'd be like,
I feel like
take your time.
I feel like sometimes the in real life tingles are actually even a little bit stronger than like watching them in video
they're like surprised.
Yeah, it's like you don't even like you go into an ASMR video intending, to hopefully like get relaxed or get the tingles or whatever. But like in real life, it's like something randomly happens and you're just like, whoo.
Yeah. You're like, I need a nap, or like, this is nice. But yeah, a lot of people don't experience tingles, but they'll still really enjoy ASMR as a relaxing like content anyway,
Yeah, I've been watching it for so long that I have a bit of tingle immunity a lot of times now. So like sometimes I'll have to take breaks and be like, all right, I need to not watch these for a little while and then like come back. But for the most part, I don't get tingles nearly as much as I used to, because it's just been like 9 years I've been watching them now.
Really?
Like
I still get them a lot. I still get them a lot for sure. I love seeing like, oh my God, it makes me so happy to see like, especially right now, people from like TikTok or like, because TikTok's like blowing the F up, right? Like you can have such like incredible growth. Like my friend High Priestess, her TikTok is bigger than her Instagram, and she's been doing her Instagram for a while, and she just started TikTok. Like that's how like it is. I'm just too damn old. Like I can't. Like I have like a hard like, no, I can't do it. I'm too old for that.
I feel like it's more like for teenagers.
Yeah, it is. It is. And like no judgment. No judgment, but like I just don't feel right. It's I want to preserve that for the youths, like I don't want my old ass like creeping in on them like, hi. But I see a lot of like TikTok people jumping over to YouTube, and they're like blowing up. Like there's this girl, she's like this new ASMR TikToker. I don't know. I don't remember her name, but it was like Soft Girl ASMR. Like Soft Girl does your makeup in class. She's like super cute with like her cute little like curly hair. Aww. She has like over 1 million views on her first video, and it came out like just before Valentine's Day. And I'm like, get that girl. Like I'm here for it. Like it's so refreshing and amazing to see like what people have access to right now, Yeah. I'm like doing my best. I'm doing well, thank you guys.
Oh, do I study the occult? I used to study the occult. I saw someone's question asking me if I studied the occult. I used to study the occult, but I don't really study the occult anymore. Like I have certain things that I'm still interested in that I used to think of as a cult, but now like I think of them differently, Like I don't know. I don't know how to better say that. But no, I don't really study the occult anymore.
Sorry, I'm like scrolling, but it's glitching. TikTok made me nervous. I had to uninstall it. Good on you, because I haven't even installed. I just watch like other YouTubers taking TikTok videos and like reviewing them. That's my favorite. These frames are from Firmoo, like one of those cheapy brands. Firmoo. But I got like brown, like the lightest color brown in here that I could get. So it makes them look a little more vintage or something. What are your thoughts on individuality? That's an interesting question.
I think that everyone's an individual. I mean, like, there's a lot of herd think, like, and what society wants you to think and what you're kind of programmed to think. But I think, like, everyone at the same time has their own individuality.
Definitely. Or I would call that like the ego. You know, like I'm Tiffany and I'm a Libra and I don't like sour beer.
I don't like sour beer. That's true.
And I'm Jillian. I was born on July 13th. And I do like, like there are just things that like
sour beer.
Yeah, like that are kind of innate in a sense, or like you attach them easily. Like there's no like conflict to that style of like your individualness. But there's other forms of individuality or that make up yourself that are constantly in flux, right? Like going from paganism to Christianity, right? And if we had talked to like young Tiffany or young Tiffany, like, oh, by the way, you're gonna be a Christian, you'd be like,
I would have been like, F no, I'm not. I'd be like, that's never happening.
So I think it's something that there's something of a foundation that's healthy to attach to an individuality, but there's also this like openness that we should accept that like we're always changing and our needs change and our perspective change and the reality around us changes. So just kind of nice to click into it from like there's something stable, but then there's all this other crap around
it. For example, my spiritual beliefs, like those I thought were more core than they were, like I thought it was like a core part of me. But when that was taken away, I realized that there was other things that were much more core parts of me, like parts of my personality and parts of like my belief systems outside of just like spirituality and religion and stuff like that,
Sorry, I am listening to you. I wasn't trying to sound
no, it's okay.
That wasn't one of those. I'm just struggling to read. Okay. Do you know anything about psychosomatic illness and mental stuff coming out physically? What is psychosomatic?
It's when there's something psychological that's causing a physical symptom, which I think that I've experienced psychosomatic symptoms before because like due to anxiety and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes like I've thought that something was happening physically, but it was actually
or like having
anxiety.
the weed heart attack. Like that probably is a little psychosomatic.
Kind of
a little bit. Like it's induced in some sense, but it says like mental stuff coming out physically. So we have like two very different like schools of thought here, I guess we could say. So what I would relate that to would be like esoteric anatomy and emotions in the body, even like as like a simple way to kind of define that. And if you're my suggestion would be if you're experiencing anything like that, would be to check in with your body and use like either some kind of dowsing or some method that you can connect with your subconscious, like the subconscious that resides in your body, and ask it yes or no questions. So there's I just had a class a couple weeks ago, and the amazing women in the class all brought up this book called The Emotion Code. Have you heard that? The Emotional Code. And it's basically just like a very light way of tapping into, am I experiencing a pain? And like, is this pain telling me of some type of emotional trap or something like that? And in the book, they suggest body dowsing, which is essentially just like standing up, standing kind of balanced, asking a question, and you'll lean forward for yes, and you'll lean backward for no. So you can ask, like, is this pain emotion? Is this stemming from emotion? Maybe it's a yes. Is this stemming from physical? Is there a physical issue? It might be a no. And kind of like keep going and asking questions to determine, you're basically asking your body to determine, is this reaction or this experience stemming from something, and keep asking questions in the best of your ability of like very clear yes or no answers to like break something down. It could be like pretty helpful.
I mean, like, too, certain mental illnesses are known to cause certain physical symptoms too. Like anxiety can really cause a lot of problems in your stomach and digestive system, and depression is known to have a lot of like systemic body pain and muscular pain associated with it. So I think like that's something to keep in mind too.
Yeah, definitely.
As far as like mental illness and like the physical symptoms go.
Yeah. Sorry, it's dirty. Can we get my phone ball?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I gotta drive.
Yeah. I'm glad you're not.
I'm sure I'll have a beer later anyway, too.
Yeah. Okay. How do you make the lights blue and red in your videos? I have colored light bulbs.
Yeah, they're really cool.
These are just like, everybody asks me like, what lights do you use? Now, they're just these ones up here. Oh, it's
Oh, that's why it's all
why.
grainy. It's coming through here instead of there.
That's not right. Hang on. I don't think I can change it now.
Yeah, I think you might need to change it like before the...
So those are just regular light bulbs that are from Amazon that are colorful. And if like, I can't tell you what brand they are because every time I order them, it's a different brand. Like it's not a brand that I know. And they come with a little thing and you can change them. These are not great for videos because the pulse of this light, although you might be able to see it now, there's certain colors. If I change it, it'll like look more of like a rippling kind of thing. Or if I make them like extra bright, it just like creates this like this pulse that's like really noticeable and it looks really bad. So that's why. This might even be smutsy. Duh, I'm like looking at that thing. That makes sense. So those are not great for videos, but these are great for your house. These ones. They're just regular light bulbs, like colored light bulbs, colored LED light bulbs. You use TikTok for editing. Cool. You almost missed the live. Welcome. Thank you, Benjamin Bates. I'm naive in Reiki healing. Where do I start? You mean to learn Reiki? Is that what you mean? Do you mean learning it? Because all you have to do is just find a teacher. You can find a teacher in your area. There are teachers who work online. I teach online. They must
have Reiki attunements.
Yeah. I'm a Reiki teacher. It's part of like I love YouTube and I love Patreon. Those are like Patreon's like my baby. Like, I love everybody there. It's so good. Jen knows. It's so sweet. But my work is energy work and it is Reiki, but it's also other forms of like healing arts, metaphysical healing, spiritual healing, mentalism and healing, applying other kind of like esoteric schools of thought to our healing practices. And the way that I look at that honestly is like it falls into, I guess we'd call it metaphysical healing. So it's just like my perspective is if I believe in it, like I believe in energy work, like I believe in it, I feel it, like I'm so there. But I think that there's also this beautiful safety net of energy work too, which is a bit more of like the subconscious or communicating with the subconscious. So if I was working with a stone, right, like crystals, right, it's like, okay, like this is cute. It's a cute little thing, right? But if I put this in my pocket saying like, okay, this is my intention to like be more calm, be more compassionate, and take a moment before I react to things. I'm regardless of whether the stone has those properties or not, I'm declaring that. Like I'm setting my intention and therefore my subconscious is going to work that way. So it's really beautiful to like understand that there's both this like logical kind of like brain stuff going on, but there's also this like energetic stuff going on. I fucked up these lights.
Or even like just even if something ends up being a placebo effect, it can be really,
like
really
it's
powerful,
okay, right?
With someone's mind thinking that something's going to work, and then the mind can end up having amazing physical
definitely
that it does.
Absolutely. And it can work the other way too. Like if somebody tells you you're cursed and you're like, oh, I'm cursed, I knew it, and you just like, you're like making it worse for yourself.
Yeah.
Or with sickness, like I just got like a pretty decent cold like this week, but honestly, it was gone in like pretty much 3 days overall because I was, it could have been a lot of things. I was trying to take care of myself too, but I was like, let me get dressed. Let me like do something different. Whereas normally I probably would have just like stayed in my pajamas and not really washed my hair and just like not like done that part. But it was almost this like mind over matter in a sense way too. Not where I was like trying to force myself to like, like
Yeah.
be ridiculous, but I think there's something to be said for that too. But yeah, like for Reiki healing, if you're just looking to work with a practitioner, all you have to do is find one in your area, and if you're looking to do it yourself, just find a teacher that I'd say like it's important to find a teacher you resonate with, that could be anyone, but that connection is important because it's so elusive in a sense. And because there's this attunement, and in a Reiki attunement, essentially it's like this waterfall effect of like passing down the lineage. There's not a lot of healing modalities that contain lineage the way Reiki does. It's quite interesting that way, I would say. So you just want to make sure that like that lineage that like you're carrying through like holds something, and like ask the person to see like who was their teacher. You can Google it and stuff, Pure Light said, I feel so blessed. Like God is on my side. God is on your side.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Okay. Sorry, my eyes are like not. A lot of people call me Julian, which is fine. Like, call me Jillian with a G, call me Jillian with a J, call me Lune, call me Lune Innate, call me Julian. I'm totally fine with them, not making fun.
Michael knows you mostly as Lune. We refer to you as Lune a lot.
Yeah.
I'll be like Jillian, and he'll be like, who's Jillian?
It's like,
I'm like, Lune.
Yeah, don't worry. But it's funny when like people think it's a man's name and then they meet me in real life and they're like when I was going to get my car, they're like, who's Julian? And I was like, no, I'm Jillian. I'll be signing that check, like let me.
I ain't no man.
Yeah, I ain't no man. The colors definitely help, I'd say. Oh, I missed something interesting. Tiffany's changed to Christianity. Gotta follow your heart.
Yeah. It was actually really like for a long time I was very against the idea of Christianity because I guess a lot of like historical reasons,
Yeah,
and,
sure.
Like certain experiences that I've had with people before, but then like when I actually went to a church that I liked for the first time, because I had been to my mom's church where like I felt really uncomfortable and like I was like, oh my God, this place gives me the heebie-jeebies. But then like I went to my sister's church that like I really liked, and like I felt like they were talking and like I felt something like in my heart and in my soul that I had never felt before. Like I just started crying and stuff, and like it was really powerful,
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like we find things at the right time. Like I'm sure the pagan path like really served you.
Oh yeah, like I learned a lot from it, like I don't regret it. I mean, like now I feel like I'm on a path that's more aligned with what I'll probably be on long term. But I mean, I was searching for a long time,
No, it's really beautiful. And it's bold to make that change. You know what I mean? Like you felt it. I'm sure it was
especially because like I mean, and I don't know like how other people see like the paganism and like new age community, but I've seen a lot of times in the past where like people have converted, and I've seen it in like my own life too, like where people convert and like some people get really really upset about it, and I understand it because I had gotten upset about it in the past too, because like they don't understand it and it's just like really upsetting to them, which like I get.
Well, it's like Dorian Virtue is a good example, right?
Yeah, people got really, really pissed.
I think
people she was a little bit more dogmatic about it, I think,
for sure. And I think like a big part was that she made so much money. Not like that's wrong, like do your thing, but it was like, I don't know, like I think that's like where people like really like it like aggravated them because now they had this like monetary thing that they could tie onto it and make it sound worse than it was, when it's really just like, listen, this lady's path just changed, like, honestly, you know. And we're not going to agree eye to eye with everybody. Like, we're not going to agree with like people, I don't want to say with people's choices, but because that sounds like, what do you know, what right do we have to care what other person's choices are? But you know, like along that line. So I saw a question rather. What do you do when people hinder you of growing? I don't want to hurt anyone, but I keep getting hurt myself. I really need help. If anyone is like keeping you in any place, or you just feel like, for me, when I feel that way, it feels like a shell, like this kind of like container, like a cicada shell or something that you're like,
trying to wiggle your way out of.
Yeah, totally. And
I
it's
love
like
cicada shells.
It's just like you can't really like be truly you if people are like inhibiting you, but you also can't use people inhibiting you as I don't want to say as an excuse, but like as an excuse too, right? You know, like, oh, I want to, but I can't, like that kind of thing. It's tricky. I'm just gonna be honest with like myself. Like, I'm very I'm a Cancer. I'm an Aries moon. Like, I'm very like it's easy for me to like disconnect from people, and it's not like in a heartless way, but I can really just be objective and say like, this is not good for me, and this is not good for you karmically, perhaps, or whatever, like your life path either. And if you see a need for separation, it's kind of like we talked about with the abusive relationships, you know. It's like you're gonna need to create that space and like give yourself that freedom and stuff. So I guess it'd be helpful to like know more info. I'm always like, I need more information, man. But in general, just you can't really let anyone do that to you, as hard as it can be sometimes. Can you repair a broken timeline in the Akashic records? Honestly, I don't work in the Akashic records.
I've never worked within that either.
Yeah, I personally don't. I don't really have a need to. And I don't really believe in like things being broken necessarily, but I do believe in like alternate realities, and I do believe in like magnetizing facets of some kind of strength or experience to ourselves one way or another, whether that's like Akashic records, multiple realities, past lives, or it's just understanding a physical example, like seeing a strength in another person and being like, I know all of that strength is in me. I want to tap into that and like bring it forward as well. So I can't really speak too much to the Akashic records. It's not really my strong suit. And it's like confusing, honestly, like for me. So, thanks, Jen. Instrumental. I think I got here. Someone altered my timeline 10 years ago, and I don't know if I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm not telling you you're wrong, but I don't know if I believe that I would ever be disempowered by someone else altering my timeline. Like, I don't know if that's a reality I would accept. You know what I mean? Goes like, Tiffany, I altered your timeline. You're like, what? No, I'm here. Like, you can reject things. If somebody tries to like impose something on you in any way, you can reject, find a lesson, attach to that strength of your lesson, and carry forward. Like, you don't have to like let people influence you, I guess is a way to say that, you think?
Yeah. I mean, like, are they talking almost like Mandela effect kind of changes in timelines, which like, because I mean, like, there's been some weird things in my life where like I remember something my entire life a very specific way, and then I'm talking about it with like someone in my family, and they say that something slightly different happened, and I'm like, what are you talking about? We've told this story back and forth like 30 times. Like, since when is like that the case? And it's just like weird and confusing.
Yeah.
It's like almost like
I've had that before,
Mandela effect for your own life.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's interesting.
Yeah,
it's really weird. That happened with just the like Leo rising thing with me. Like, I was like, no, I'm a Virgo rising. And I was like, you're a Leo rising. I was like, no, that is not my reality. But I'm actually, I wanted to ask you this and I forgot. I was thinking we could also talk about like our favorite YouTube channels that we watch or something. Because I found this new astrologer that I'm loving, or new to me. His name is something finesse, like Astro Finesse or something. And he goes by the Jiggy Hippie or Little Finesse. And he's really good astrologer and talks a lot about like, has like a whole series on like the Venus in this, or I don't know, really good. I've been loving that lately. Do you have any tubers you've been watching lately? Tubers?
I mean, like, I do have ones that I watch regularly. I'm like having trouble pulling names.
I wanted to like
I can
prep
picture,
you.
like I can picture their faces and their channels. I just can't.
What do they talk about?
Like different stuff. Like commentary kind of.
Oh
channels.
yeah,
Like I really like
commentary,
commentary channels.
Yeah, I like commentary channels.
I know that
too.
both of us follow this one girl. She always wears like different wigs. I love her. We both follow her on Instagram.
Ready
so I know
to glare.
Ready to glare. I love her.
That bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like one of those things you're like, can we be friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like her commentary a lot. She's like, I don't say deadpan, but she's just like a nice like.
And she's
I'm done.
Something about her voice. She's very like. It's weird because she's from another country, but she doesn't have an accent at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Italian, but she doesn't have an accent at all. But she talks somewhat monotone.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever I listen to her, like she's not ASMR calming, but like she's like, I listen to her and she has like that calming thing to her voice. I like it.
Yeah, she's really good. I've been watching this kid. I'm saying kid. He's probably like just out of high school.
That is a kid.
He has like over 1 million subscribers. I think his name is like Rebal, like Rebal. And he does like TikTok. He just like watches TikToks, but he's so funny. He reminds me of like Andy Samberg or whatever that guy's name is and stuff.
I love Andy Samberg.
Oh, then you would love him. You would love him. He's super fun. Chris says, flickering night lights in the background and now a dog barking. Shit. Okay. I've had like 2 drinks and that's a lot for me, so I'm sorry, guys. Really interesting documentary on Netflix about how unreliable are.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about like how memories are super unreliable,
which is good in a way to get that proof, because you can change your story based on your perspective. Like this is that whole like all is mind thing. Like a bad version of that is like, I can't even say it because like the person I'm going to talk about like stalks my channel a little bit, but I know someone who remembers everything like they're the good guy, like they were the good guy. You know what I mean? And it's like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
Like, I mean, stuff like that. I mean, people remember things very different from each other. Like even when me and my boyfriend get into a fight, like we remember things like very differently from each other. Like he won't remember certain things and like I won't remember certain things, you know? So it's like we have to like talk about it and work through it and like piece it together.
That's good. And it's good to like acknowledge that like we have different perspectives and our memories are different. There was one time like Greg and I were driving over like the like outer bridge or something, and there was just this crazy sky, like all these like just the cloud formations, like everything was like super trippy. And I'm just staring at it, and like these oranges were like popping through. It looks so stunning. And he's like, oh man, you see that like purple, like there was like some lilac-y silver colors, and I'm just like, you're looking at that, like like look at that orange, man, you know, like, but he saw something like totally different in the sky, and I was like, damn, like everybody's different.
Yeah, for sure.
Lune Innate, did you think that ASMR made an impact in people's lives? Yeah, I think it's like I think it makes a big impact in people's lives. I do, because it gives you this like safe space.
Yeah.
And it also creates like, whether it's, God, I almost used the word delusional, I guess because we're in Pisces season, but there's this like, what do they call it? Like a paradynamic relationship type thing that can happen. Essentially, people are lonely.
Yeah,
like, I hate, like I'm not trying to be rude. We're lonely.
Be really lonely, and we like it. One of the good things about ASMR is like it gives you this like sense of intimacy with a person almost. So like even if you don't necessarily have people in your life that you can be close
or
with
even
in
if you
that
feel
way,
capable of being that close with someone,
some
or letting
people
someone take
too,
care of you.
yeah, like some people too have told me, you know, like I don't really have like people in my life that I am super close with or that are really nurturing, you know, and then like they can go and like watch someone's video who has those qualities and it's really comforting to them.
I think that alone, like that kind of like, yeah, it's online, but that like human contact, or that like attention or
Especially
compassion,
like personal attention type
yeah, and
videos.
non-judgment, right? Because you'll see a theme, like, yeah, like what we all have. We've seen the like mean girl does your makeup, you know, trend or whatever, right? Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like mean ASMR.
I'm like, I don't want someone being mean to me. I get that enough in real life.
Totally. You know, like there's this very non-judgmental attitude for the majority of like ASMR artists or whatever. And that's just something we don't really see, particularly in the internet, you know, like, and I think that alone has like a massive weight to it, like a massive substantial like quality. And then on top of it, like it helps people sleep. Like it truly helps people fall asleep or unwind, you know? And like, again, some people might feel like, oh, I don't have anyone in my life. Some people might have total potential to have people in their life, but like there's still this disconnection and like intimacy. And I don't mean like, ooh, like intimacy.
Not like physical sexual intimacy.
Yeah. Not like sexual intimacy,
just
but
like relational intimacy.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes to receive. I think as well, if we start setting like intentions as we're receiving like any sort of like quote unquote pleasurable experience or like relaxing experience, it can start to switch gears where it's easier to receive that in real life, because it's almost like you've had this not AI, but this like version of like receiving, so you're like a little virtual, more comfortable. Yeah, so you're like a little more comfortable like doing it, you know. You're doing the blow away burps. I love you.
Yeah, sorry. it's the from
or like
I don't want to like blow a burp right in your face.
Yeah, it totally makes you feel like you have a friend. That's how I feel. That's why I put Tiffany on when I'm doing my makeup in the bathroom. All right. Sorry. Take you on reality meditation. Aw, people are so nice. You guys are the best. Hey girl.
Hey girl, hey.
Find a teacher. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. Just find a teacher. It's that easy. Like Google in your area, see if anybody pops up. If nobody pops up or you feel disconnected, then maybe start looking online. So I made actually a whole video on working as a healer. I don't love that word, but that's just the word that we use, you know? So I have a whole video on that if you want to watch it. The topics of like Udemy or classes like that come up, and I'm not trying to say those are bad or anything, but I can't tell you how many people I've worked with that started there and felt like they were disconnected from it. So I think that Udemy is a great, because it's usually very inexpensive to do something like Udemy. And you can get like a gist for it. You know what I mean? But okay, so Reiki is tradition, right? Like it's passed down. It's been adapted. It's been telephoned for sure. How could it not? That's just history and culture and how things change over time through like the passing on of information. But more or less, the teachings of Reiki will be the same across the board, which is another reason why it's really important to resonate with your teacher, because your teacher is going to have their own flair. Like my teacher, very angelic, like very like ascended master, angelic, Jesus, like she's just like the cutest, sweetest. I love her so much. And me, I'm like esoteric sciences and like Gnosticism and Rosicrucian and Hermeticism and like quarter that in. So everyone's gonna have perhaps like their own style, or teach you the basics and then teach you what they brought in to like make it more theirs, you know? So you should just go for that.
The message was held for review. I'm so curious what it says.
She says, all these men think you're lesbians. You see what you want to see. True, girl. Or true pure light.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's probably more of a fantasy in their mind than anything else.
Let's see. Do you guys know any ASMR artists that are up to no good? Like trying to reprogram stuff? No, I don't know anybody.
No, I don't know anyone who's like.
Do you have another favorite ASMR person though? I love Crystal ASMR, and she's also Christian. Do you watch her?
Really? I haven't. I don't think I've seen her yet.
Oh my god,
oh my
you
gosh,
would love her.
Yeah, I gotta
She's
check her
so
channel
cute.
out.
Crystal ASMR. Yeah, she did an ASMR video doing makeup on a potato recently.
There's this one girl that I actually found like maybe 2 months ago, and I love her videos. It's ASMR Planet.
Oh, I haven't heard of
Planet
that.
ASMR or something like
Definitely
that. I think it's
haven't,
ASMR Planet. She's like this adorable. I think she's like British or something.
Oh, okay.
And she does like these crafty type videos and stuff too. And she's so cute and relaxing.
Yeah.
And like she also does like this like kind of weird like stuff that's still like relaxing. And
yeah.
I don't know. I really like her videos.
Yeah, I love a good ASMR. Yeah. That's awesome. So give yourself props for that. Sorry, I can't tell if this is a question. There we were. It's the stories of trauma and abuse like they did happen, but now what? I'm just going to jump in here. I don't think that this was a question for us, but I'm just like, I might be messing this up. Thank you. Wait, where are you? I just see a Pomeranian. I don't see a person.
It's probably further down. Oh no, 2 Pomeranians. We don't even know where the Pomeranians are from.
Hi, Gloria.
Hi.
We love the Reiki Energy Healing Hope channel. Oh, cool. I'll have to check it out. Love the Reiki Healing Hope. Thank you for the suggestion, Gloria. Will you send us a burst of quick Reiki? I'm not going to do Reiki with Autumn Mystic, not in like a rude way, but just like that wasn't what we had planned. Plus, I've been drinking.
She's like, I don't want to.
I don't mess with energy work if I've had like anything in my system, particularly any alcohol. All right, we're almost done here. Let's see. I was just going back to like what that said because it like stuck out, and now I forget what it was. PTSD. I know what PTSD is like. Yeah. Sorry, I saw something and it made me think of something, and now I'm just trying to find it. Was you always into alternative special? I was, yeah. My aunt was like my aunt and my grandmother were both like my grandmother's more like earth witchy, like home apothecary kind of version of witchy. And my Aunt Dina is very like cosmic in general, and like taught me about setting intentions, and we would like go to the beach and do it together and stuff, like with the candles under the moon. There was one time it was like super like The Craft, like it was scary almost. Like we were night owls and we would like stay up watching movies, and we'd have like platter parties and we'd be like singing about it, like super excited for our platters, but they're basically just like hummus and tabbouleh and grape leaves and like this kind of like Mediterranean. Oh my gosh,
I
like
want Mediterranean food now.
So good.
I'd be like, Michael,
so
let's
good.
go get Greek food.
Yeah, so good. And we'd like do like a little like not witchy but like cutesy like candle stuff, And we went to the beach one time to like set intentions, and we're both Cancers, and we're like like going crazy and just like having fun. She's only like 20 years older than me, so she's like a young aunt, And out of nowhere, we started feeling like the ground moving like in a weird way, and all these like little like fishy things like washed up on the shore. Like I don't know what the heck they were. They were like bait fish. Like they were just like these little kind of sardine-y dudes. They all came out like everywhere. We actually like took some of them because her partner at the time was like a fisherman. And I was like, what is this thing? It was so weird. But yeah, it was like really crafty moment.
I was very into like witchy
stuff
when I was younger.
Thank you, Gloria. Thank you. Yeah. Did you have like a cool aunt?
No, but like I did have like some family members that kind of like, even like my mom, she had like some old fortune telling cards or something she gave to me because I was like, oh my God, I'm in love with these. It's just like, you want them?
That's really beautiful. It's nice to have that like passed down stuff.
Yeah.
I wish I could have found that thing. Oh, here it is. You know, the stories from trauma and abuse, like they did happen, but now what? What I was gonna say is like that come when you said that, Rock, it comes into like rewriting your story, right? So like we can have traumatizing experiences or painful experiences or disempowering experiences, like a disempowered childhood. Like mine is like my horrible relationship with my mom and the lack and all this stuff that was like in my family and how bad my parents fought, right? But that's real. That's reality. I'm not going to change that. That's my memory. That's what I grew up in. It shaped me in some way. But there's also this aspect of like rewriting our story that I don't want to say manipulates our memories, but honors the fact that we can twist the way that our memories affect us, or the way that we the way that we view our memories in general. So instead of me being like, yeah, oh, my parents fought so bad, there was no stability, oh, nobody was there for me, and carrying that, or like I'm talking to you and I'm like, oh, nobody ever supported me, and like it's still in my thing, you know what I mean? Like it's still like a facet of myself, like quite strongly. The fact that our memories are so pliable in a sense, it's not like we want to reject reality, because all of that stuff was important. But there's also this concept of like, if I can change how I see it, though.
Kind of like forgiveness.
Forgiveness is a huge part of it. Realizing, hey, our parents are just freaking people and they have their own messed up stories and their own messed up lives. And in some way, like this was meant to be. And let me take what that is and go with it. That is so empowering. Like I can't tell you the kind of like change I had in my life and in myself when I started doing that kind of work, like where you're almost going back in time, whether it's meditation or whatever, and you're just like there for yourself. Like it's that simple.
Like your inner child type
Yeah, little child, inner child stuff for sure. And it's not just like that concept though. It's also then you kind of start thinking, okay, well, like if someone had been there for me, if someone like, so when I see myself, it's like, here's some money, like them bitches ain't shit. They're going to peak too early. You're going to be 37 and still cool, you know, like whatever comes to mind. I'm like, here, like you have cash now. You're good. Like, don't worry about it. You're cool. You can be cool for a long, you got this. And it's like, how would the next day have been, like when I went to school? Or how would the next day have been when someone was talking crap about me or starting rumors about me or punching me? Like, how would my next day have been? And then how would my next month have been had I felt that support or that confidence or whatever it is? And you kind of like do the best that you can, but like go through time and like say, like, how would I have treated my relationships, or what would I have gotten out of my relationships? How would I have handled that traumatic experience? And it's not like you're trying to like call yourself out for doing it wrong, but you drag it back through until you're now in your present and you wake up or you come back out of your meditation or your prayer session like, okay, you know, like I just pulled that through, and it's crazy how powerful that is, you know. Sorry, I'm drunk. Not drunk. I'm buzzed. Georgia, thank you so much. Do either of you take colloidal silver? Yes, I take the silver stuff. I do, especially when I'm sick. Do you ever take that stuff?
No, I've never taken colloidal silver.
It tastes like water. Like,
I should
it's not
probably
even.
use some on my tattoo though.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a good
yeah. I have like a gel one too. It works really good. Okay, let's take like a couple more questions. It's already an hour. Do you have any psychic ability? Do you have psychic abilities? I would say so, but not more than other people. Everybody has some kind of psychic ability, like intuition or whatever. I'd say like the strength is in learning that and like expanding upon it and giving yourself parameters. So like when your kind of like spidey senses or whatever talk to you, you know what they're saying, and it's more practical and grounded and applicable versus like, woo, you know, where you're just like a beautiful, but like kind of a mess, like if that makes sense. Have you done Reiki on psychedelics? No. Many people are unable to be self-aware, so even though it can seem bad as you are aware of bad things, open your eyes, understand more about yourself. So true. Is there a question in this one? Thank you, Gloria. So sweet. Okay, what do you think about partying? Party, do your thing. We don't judge, right? No judgment here. Don't lose yourself,
Yeah, I mean, like you don't want to get to a point where you're so messed up that you end up making bad decisions. I would say is like the
we all make
thing.
a few. We'll make a few. You get a few passes on the bad decisions,
I
but
mean,
not where it's like
depends on how bad the decision is.
Yeah. How much does this set you back? Bonnie. Bonnie said, my memories are bad or difficult times in my life. Yeah, we have to like empower ourselves in those experiences and like drag them through. Would you mind explaining karma before we have to go? I think karma is like one of those things that's like very personal in terms of like how we view it. I just look at it as like lessons and this need for balance. It's like very Libra-ish in a sense, Do you have a karma thing at all or?
I mean, like my views have changed on karma per se. Like I don't see, like I see it as more like related to God and not karma now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all just terms, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's of the name of the beer? Tiffany's drinking Framboise.
I think it's by Lindemann or something like
Framboise. It's like the raspberry one.
Yeah, but I think like the company's like Lindemann or something.
And I have no idea what I'm drinking.
It's like it was a raspberry Framboise before I drank all of it. There's like
they're so good. They're good though. I like to get that and top the beer. Like that's what we did the last time. Get like a regular beer, a pretty much regular beer. We had the Abita Purple Haze. And you just like top it with the Framboise. Yeah, that was so it's not like overwhelming because it's a little thick. It's like a little sweet.
It's very sweet. But one of the best things in the world to do is to get a chocolate stout and then put the Framboise in with it, and it tastes like dessert. It's amazing. You haven't tried that yet? I'll have to have you try that.
That sounds so good.
We can do it across the street of where Michael lives because they have like the making.
Oh, really? At the R bar?
Yeah, the R bar.
The R bar. Sorry for the random self-worth thing. Oh, that's okay. We're just doing our best to like answer questions. All right. I think we're going to wrap it up. Someone says, why do you put colored lights in your ceiling? Because I like it.
It looks cool.
Because I like it. And then when I do a Reiki session here, I have these like cute lights and I can change them. Like I usually go red and I make it dark. So it's like soothing and like, why does anybody do anything? I remember like wearing some like sparkly stuff like in the corners of my eye and some comment. This was so long ago, but some comment was like, why are women doing that now? And I was like, are you asking why women wear makeup?
Highlight.
Why people play with their makeup? Is that what you're asking? But yeah, so this is us hanging out. I'm sorry if it was weird or boring or anything. We didn't really plan it. We just wanted to hang out and like chat and create like space for whatevs, I guess, and it's nice to see all of you communicating with each other and just being cool and nice and friendly. We didn't get too many weird things.
Like one person, right?
I blocked two. Yeah, but that could be worse, That could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
It could be a lot worse.
Especially with this being YouTube.
Yeah. We're going to get some, I'm going to get some, I'm going to try and tag along, but if you invite me, I'll tag along.
I'll invite you to get some food. I'm hungry now.
I'm hungry.
I'm sure Michael is hungry too. We can all get some food together.
That'd be great.
Some
okay,
Greek
cool.
food.
Yeah, or something. I'm starving now. Okay, cool.
I'm hungry too.
All right. Y'all in 5D. Living 5D life. 5D. Thank you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
thank you so much, Gloria, and oh my gosh, Bates as well. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for chilling, Bonnie. And if Jen is still here, hey Jen. Love you guys. Yeah, get some of the colored lights. Just go into Amazon and type in LED colored lights. Like it's so easy and they look like really cute and stuff. They don't look great on film, on camera because the light picks up differently, but it looks good in real life. Yeah, Middle Eastern food. All right.
Oh, I love
Bye.
Middle Eastern food.
Bye. And it's gonna make me do it again. Bye. What is that? Do you see this problems?
Oh no.
Did you see that?
It's like
It's
we won't let you in
disappearing.
ever
We're
again.
like, all right, I'm not gonna touch it. Okay.
There we go.